And I am live. Alright. I may have not even gonna lie. I may have got a little zoned out working on the frickin' vehicle while waiting to go live. But it be like that sometimes, my dude. It be like that sometimes. There we go. That's all set up, good to go. Got it there like it should have been yesterday. Kind of glad it wasn't, because then I'd have to pull down yesterday's stream. But, alas, my dudes, let's get this thing being built. Oh, yeah, that's right. I need a little bit of extra cash before I get going too hard there. Where is. Uh. Hmm. Eh. I don't have one. I think this is as far back as I can go. Okay, we're going to duplicate. What up, Devin? How are you today, my dude? All I gotta say is, you missed the fun yesterday. Oh, let's get this going. Uh, eyeball. So first things first, we're gonna get rid of them, okay? Mainly because they are unneeded. They are outdated. They are what the trickety truck, yo. Yes, hello, ma'am. Yes, hello, ma'am. All right. First things first. Let's do do do. Oh, there we go. Boom. All right. Do the same thing there. Excuse me. Hmm. That one. Oh. I think, is that a twofer? Yeah. Well, that's a simple one. That I can easily just think. Switch out the three. Boom. Now that motor's connected. Hmm. No, I want to get those two. Oh, wait, that's right. Glad to hear you enjoyed that one, dude. Yeah, like, am I wrong though? Like, all right. We all know I'm 420 friendly, but at the same time, I don't get myself so fucking fried. I'm like messing up my own jokes because I'm too busy laughing at him. It's like when his eyes literally look so bloodshot red, you are terrified that they're going to get killed on an away mission, alright? That's how red his eyes were. I mean, dude, there was a time where I did too. Don't like where I, you know, got that fried and whatnot, but I also was like your age, alright? That's when I did, things like that. Not let me be freaking, you know what I mean? Obviously, my age and still like smoking like he's a like 20-year-old. I mean, come on, bro. There's a point where you gotta grow up. Let's just be honest there, my dude. Not trying to be mean, but at the same time, it's like Do you really want to be a walking joke for the rest of your life? If you want to, I'm thinking about where. I think I'm gonna put. Dude, where is it? There it is. There's little hand. All right. Yeah, there and there. I think would be good. I think that. Ooh, wait. Never mind, cause I got those. So, oh, wrong one. Like, but yeah, dude. No, step back. That's what I thought. When I say you missed the fun yesterday, I mean you literally missed the fun. For starters, I went through, was doing great on freaking Starfield, clearing out a base, and then, like, stopped paying attention to my health. The next thing I know, I was like, I'm not about to be trying to fight, go through all that shit again. See? And started playing this, and while I was playing this, oh yeah, no, we haven't even gotten to the infuriating part. I'm playing this near the end of the stream. Some dude posts my freaking. Oh, dude, thank you for reminding me. I put some in the microwave to heat up, and forgot to grab it up. Good save, Devin. Good save. You spoke my language. But yeah, dude, no. Some dude literally posted mine address. Literally in the chat. Like, I had to report and delete it. So when people come back and watch the stream, they don't see dudes, posting my address. Like, dude, public knowledge, like I guess you could say, public information. Alright? On the one hand, I'm not going to act like he couldn't easily get a hold of it by just taking my name off of Facebook, basically looking at my, where I am on my Facebook, which is also public, and then putting it together. I mean, let's not act like it's hard to do. Like, but at the same time, I mean, I was mad when it happened. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But in retrospect, I'm also like, think about it like this. How much of a literal, like, how sad do you have to be that you see a nerd doing his own thing online, right? That is in no way, shape, or form harming you. It's got nothing, literally, to do with you. Oh yeah, dude. If you know someone's real name and know roughly where they are, all you gotta do is and literally, you don't even have to pay for it. Like, use one of these background check services. Put in someone's name and then bing, 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 bing. Like, that's one of the easiest ways you can do it. There we go. I think that'll probably work better for down forces. But, yeah, dude, no. No. I'm not gonna let some douchebag, get up here and tell me what am and am not capable of doing. That is, best way I can put it. Homie don't play that? Oh, that's why. Wait, car has errors? What do you mean car has errors? Like, just drop the address. That's it. Just blink, and then dipped. Like, the only way to describe it, dude just randomly showed up in chat, dropped my, address and everything. I guess dropped my address, and then dipped. like I said, on the one hand, I'm mad about it, but on the other hand, I'm like, this is one of those moments where you can either let it intimidate you, or you can actually be a fucking man and be like, if the dude was about anything, he wouldn't be posting my address online. He'd be showing up here to throw hands. Like, that's just the only way I can really look at it. Because just posting my address and everything and basically trying to intimidate me like you're gonna like swat me or something. It's like, dude, that would be one of the dumbest moves that someone could make, especially in this area. Because if you think Oklahoma would drop something like that, like the state, Oklahoma's like the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation would be all over that. Yeah, I agree, my dude. I'm literally a nobody from Nowheresville, Oklahoma. Why you gotta be messing with me, player? Not like I'm fucking with anybody. I'm trying to make people laugh and do my thing. I might just go with it for now. Like, but let's be honest. That's unfortunately the world we live in these days. People don't care how they hurt others. They don't care about anything other than let me make myself laugh and so on and so forth. Let me see how badly I can hurt other people to make myself feel better. And that's the type of person that is. That's the only like explanation I can think of as for why that individual would want to use like get that information or want to do anything with it. For that exact reason. I I don't care what anyone says. You can make. Oh, sorry, I had to heard something out front for a second, but you can make whatever comments you want. But dude, and what's that's the other part. Like this is where I live is like I said, a very Second Amendment friendly state. All right. So, yeah, the whole thing is a just recipe for disaster. And once again, I'm just so confused as to why some people think that that's okay and why they have to do that. Like, to me, that has always just been like the lowest of low energy. It's like, okay, so because you're unhappy, I need to get some off road tires on this thing. This thing's too powerful. But granted I haven't unlocked them yet. But no, the big thing is it's individuals that wish they could do something like that. That wish they could put themselves out there online. It's like when people on Instagram make the comment about make basically suggestions that I'm a very specific type of horrible person. All right. Um, when they say that, it's generally a bunch of people who are unhappy with their life and they're doing that because they have no other outlet. They think they're going to be able to just, well, they think because they're upset and angry, they have a right to do something like that. And unfortunately, we all know that's not true. Like, it's just one of these days. And it's like, well, take for instance the one kid, I think it was like 18, 19, did found out some of the information, doxed him, like literally went and called the local police department and had them like swat the house, end up killing the kid, or end up killing the person that got swatted. Well, then the kid ended up getting charged and literally found guilty of murder. So I don't know why. Once again, why people would do something like that. That is just, yeah, it makes no sense why people would do that, dude. It's like that's basically saying you want to screw up your whole life because you want to be an asshole online for internet points. I wonder. I have an idea what the problem was. Uh, but hey, man, best I can say is adapt and overcome. Uh, you let people like that control your life, you'll always let others control your life. Oh wait, yeah. I need. Track 5. Oop. I and believe me when I say I know from firsthand experience, dude. I know from firsthand experience. You know, I didn't draw. I should say I didn't set boundaries with individuals and made friends with the wrong types of people, and let's just say there's a reason why I don't hang out with those people anymore, but it doesn't change the fact that I have no excuse because I brought those situations on myself. Oh yeah, dude. Of course. Like I the way I view it, if pets are kind of they are what make a home, if that makes sense. Like make a house a home. There we go. I think that's a better way of putting it. Pets are what make a house a home. Like surprised you haven't heard me talk to them. Oh, set that there. Uh, anyway, how am I gonna do this? I think I pretty much just gonna follow the same pattern as I did last time. Eh, eh, so, uh, there we go. And then, boom. Oh yeah, I also need to make those steerable. But, yeah, either way, like I said, that's you want to put yourself out there on the internet, man. Sometimes you just got to deal with, you know, douchebags. The douchiest of bags. I don't even have those unlocked yet. So, or yeah, didn't buy any yet. Uh, and to do. Let's try this again. We're gonna go. Yeah, but you know, let's be honest, not exactly the closest. Alright. Unfortunately, they live in a different state and have not really any association with us. Alright, now let's see if this actually... Oh, 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 come on, come on. Ooh! Mm, come on. Come on. Oh, ah, wait, I'm not using a controller. Yeah, let's be honest though. It's one of the downsides to modernity. We traded what mattered for the things that don't. I mean, think about it. Back in the day, you'd have these big family complexes, literally land that's been in the family for generations, and the family all stayed there and worked the land. They had, like, literally houses on the land for different members of the, you know, their different families and whatnot, or they had the home be, like, they improved it every chance they could to accommodate more, children and so on and so forth. They found ways to keep the family together and as a unit. In today's day and age, because we have kind of, and the only way I can really describe it is we have gotten rid of the, only way I can describe it as the familial bonds. Because think about it. I mean, uh, what boyfriend? I don't like. Don't go that way, my dude. And I don't know why. That's the other thing that keeps popping up. Weird dudes with like. You missed that too the other day. That was like Friday, Saturday, where dudes got up in my chat being very inappropriate. But come on, dude. Alright. Like, I'm trying to create a positive space for people to hang out, actually chill, and, like, yeah, we talk shit, but it's positive talking shit. It's, you know, hey, I know you got this problem that's really bothering you. I'm going to poke on you about, like, you drinking too much coffee, or, why, I don't know, stupid shit. Things that make people feel better about because you can, like, I guess you could say, the thing I learned as I got older, sometimes good male bonding requires, you know, you to be able to take some insults because it keeps you from getting big. Like, and when I say big, I mean like big ego. Too big for your britches, as the expression goes. And I'm actually from Germany, to be honest. Like, moved to the States many, many years ago. But yeah, like, my whole, like, as you've heard me mention, Devin, my whole goal for this area, like, for this is to create a space where we can kind of iron sharpens iron. So let us all make ourselves iron. Only way I can really describe it. Like, let's make ourselves strong, and not in the, let's be top G and have like all the Bugattis, because if you don't have a Bugatti and like 50 bitches, you're not a fucking man. You gotta have like all the money in the fucking bank and la da 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 da, and like no. Realistic. Like, you got your job together? Are your kids taken care of? You don't got a wife or kids? Okay, are you doing what you can do to move yourself to a position to where you can be? Are you trying to, like, get yourself in a better spot spiritually? Are you trying to get closer to the Lord? Are you trying to find better ways of expressing yourself or improving yourself through fitness Are you, things like that? Are you finding ways to improve your diet? Like, what are you doing to improve yourself so you can live a better, full life? And like I've stated before, number one rule: chase that money, dude. Don't be talk G about it. Be like, no, I want to be successful in everything I do. Exactly. Like, what the? I don't want a Bugatti. Why would I want a Bugatti? A Bugatti is not my thing. Now, a good Chevy S10. I mean, there you go. Late 90s, early 2000 model? For sure. For sure. Like, but the whole point I'm making is I want this to be an area where individuals come because they want to actually share ideas that'll help everyone grow. We're living in a society that wants to keep us standing still and being perpetually children. Yes, I may play video games. Yep. Hey, man. In this house, we drive Chevy trucks, okay? We don't put Fords in our fucking driveway. You hear me? You bring a Ford in my fucking driveway, and I'm kicking your ass the fuck out of my house. No, not really. Actually, like, in the 90s, we had a Ford Ranger. Like, we're a little solid truck. I may joke and whatnot and talk shit, but it was actually a solid little truck. Alright, let's get back to working on this one. Because this is the one I needed parts for. Alright. Nope. Didn't mean that. But no, dude. Like, the best way I can put it, I mean, it's... Why stand still when you could... I guess the best... Why stand still when you could actually be going somewhere? Alright, it's like the best bit of advice I tend to... Like I said before, don't take advice from people who have a life you do not want. Now, does that mean completely, like, refuse to take advice from anyone who's not living the life you want? No, but at the same time, if you're kind of looking at somebody, like I said, they don't have what you want and what you're trying to strive for, there's no shame in saying, hey, no disrespect, but we have two different goals in life. So therefore, your advice will not work for me because your advice is not meant for me. And that's literally how you put it. You put it as respectfully as possible. Like, because the whole goal is, best way to put it, you want to be an example. Not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. We have too many young men who do not know how to be gentlemen. And so, the only way to, I guess you could say, teach by doing. When boys see you, like, you go into a place, they mess up your order, yes, excuse me, I ordered my meal this way, and it got done this way. As long as, like, keep yourself cordial, proper mannered, things like that, because I guarantee you children will see that, and especially if they see that more and more. And if we start shaming people who, for instance, are not, like, especially men, we got to start holding ourselves accountable. And I mean that in the truest sense of the word. And I'm not talking, once again, the Bugattis and the dumb shits and this, that, and the other. No, I'm talking closer to, like, that's why I do kind of agree with a lot of what, for instance, Jordan Peterson says, because he makes a lot of valid fucking points about how you need to worry about yourself before you can worry about others. The sooner you start getting yourself straightened out, the better you will feel, and the better, more enriched your life will be. But if you're just sitting there trying to worry about everyone else and not trying to worry about getting yourself where you need to be, your life's going to be constant turmoil because you're constantly worrying about things that at the end of the day do not fucking matter. And I'm not even gonna lie, like, I'm not gonna say I don't have a bad habit of doing it myself. Not even gonna lie and say I'm not bad about doing that myself. All right, but at the same time, as I've gotten older, it's like I saw a short today that really like drove this home. You know, you get good at what you practice. All right. So if you get good at, say, for instance, putting together random cars on a video game that involves you to be able to figure out gearing and things like that, you're gonna get good at it because you're practicing it. If you practice drawing things like that every day, I mean, that's why I tend to draw every day in my little sketchbook because I'm trying to get good at it. But at the same time, if you practice poor self-talk, beating yourself up, talking bad to yourself, always putting yourself down, or always talking bad to others, always putting others down, always being the one that, you know, can't be wrong, can't be told anything, and so on and so forth, you're going to be literally like just as bad off as the other extreme. Like, you have to be willing to actually, you know what I mean? Like, got to be the right blend of the two. You got to be willing to the deep voice, the stern, the no. You will listen to me only comes out when you need it. You go to McDonald's, you don't need to be like, excuse me, my order was fucked up, blah da 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 da. No, no, I don't care if you're gonna fix it. I want refund. I want this. I want the whole world. No, don't be that way. Because when you do that, you're one, showing everyone else that you were not raised right, and you are two, contributing to the further destruction of our civilization because we are seeing you act inappropriately, and if we do not shun you, you will continue to act that way. Which brings me to why we need to shun these people that do that. Shun them from public places. Don't let them, you know, get away with being that way. Because as long as you keep doing that, they're going to keep acting in a inappropriate manner. But you start treating assholes like assholes, oh, I guarantee you, you'll start to see some shit clear up real fast. Let's try it here again. Because at that point, and you gotta also reinforce people who are being proper gentlemen. Once again, we gotta hold ourselves as men accountable. All right, like it's one of the biggest problems we have in our current civilization is we have a bunch of, and mind you, I'm not saying I'm the strongest. All right, I'm not gonna sit there and act like, oh yeah, you know, I'm the strongest guy, I'm the best at everything. You know, I'm Mr. Tough Skies. You needs to respect what I got to say. No, bro, I am, like I've said before, we men are just a step up, barely half the time, from cavemen. All right, and I am probably like half a step down from that. All right, so trust me. It's the best way I can put it, because of that, I think we do have simple, basic desires and things like that. But also at the same time, we have basic, simple desires, and it's really easy to just go, man, that guy's not my problem. I'm trying to worry about myself. Well, I mean, I'm not saying don't worry about yourself. Secure your oxygen mask first. 100%. But at the same time, realize that by letting your brother fall, you are merely pulling yourself down further. Whether you realize it or not, you are pulling yourself down further because you are not letting, or not so much that, not giving the man that's hanging there, like, still tied to you, because we all live in this civilization together. So it's not like he's just hanging out for no reason. No, he's attached to you. He's attached to all of us. And that's why we need to get, you know, ourselves straightened out and the men next to us straightened out. We start getting ourselves straightened out as a society. We start getting ourselves straightened out as a people, shit, half of our problems will fucking go away. We won't even need, like, things like pornography addiction and things like that. Those things will correct themselves once, we've finally reached a point where we've taught men how to be men. Best way I can describe it. Maybe I have put a bit too much thought into this, but I mean, it's what I do. Think about shit like that. Right. And I mean, I have no idea. Let me see, how much are those? But I mean, then again, I'm not gonna act like I got all the answers. This is just the best course of action I can see that we as a society can take to start fixing a lot of our issues. I mean, we still got a lot more work after that, but that will hopefully be a good start. Like, I agree with the whole concept that we got to work on culture first and fix culture first before we can start worrying about a lot of things. And let's be honest, culture is important. If something is. The whole idea of legality versus morality. Something can be legally right but morally wrong, but something can be morally right and legally illegal. Like, for instance, various priests and preachers and whatnot that have been arrested feeding the homeless and housing the homeless and so on and so forth. They're doing exactly what they should be doing, but, they're doing what is morally right, but because they live in an area that, doing the right thing is against the law, they are imprisoned, fined, treated like criminals because we as a society culturally are sick. We no longer really know what's right or wrong. People sit there and be like, we were never a Christian nation. Yes, we were. All right, and I can explain it to you as simple as Blackstone's formula. The fact that most of our ideals as a nation and culturally were all derived from Judeo-Christianity. So to sit there and say, oh, we're not a Christian nation is not only inaccurate statement, but it's blatantly false. It is, we were never we never had Christianity as our state religion. No. Because the whole point of the United States was there was no state religion because they came from England where a lot of these individuals could only practice Church of England style Christianity. But of course, most people don't understand that while you can have a culture and nation that is heavily influenced by such things as Christian values and ideology, while at the same time not making Christianity its state religion. And that's the point. A lot of people can't understand that there is a separation between those two things. Like, that was the whole point. America was not meant to be a, state with I guess you say America was not supposed to have a state religion. It was supposed to have, you can practice whatever religion you want because we came from a place where you couldn't. And a lot of, I feel like that's not taught in school. And I think that's why we have so many individuals that don't really understand that. Or the difference. Make sure that I'm not having any. Yep. Uh, see, and that's exactly why I had to like fix my freaking. I had to close down and reopen chat because all of the all your comments after classic Chevy truck were all missed until just now. But yeah, dude, like, but that's the whole point. I mean, why did America manage to get where it is? Well, while we may not have been a Christian nation once again, in the sense of we have a state religion, we're we have Christian values that allowed us to be able to, if you will, have a system in place that was great. It's why I will always tell people, you know, when they criticize the country and this, that, and the other, and are like, well, America this, America that. Well, go to another country and say that country this, that country that. Go to those other countries and criticize their governments and their systems. And a lot of the countries that I'm saying to go do this are countries you support. Are countries you support and say are, they got it right and this, that, and the other. And when you get out of jail, just know I'm still going to be laughing at you for being dumb enough to do it. Like, for not going, oh, wait, this is probably a tarp. Because, we've been sheltered by our own country for so long. Bro. Actually, to answer or to add comments to what you just said, and this is still squirrely. Let me do some earlier ones, maybe. It's actually here in Oklahoma. They basically put the I can't remember the name of the state Department of Education superintendent, but basically he's demanding that the Ten Commandments be in all the schools in the state. And this came immediately after, oh, well, if that's the case, like when we passed this law, the Satanists literally started putting Satanists, like, getting things together to where they'll have Satanist stuff in every school. And so the response was, okay, we'll have the Ten Commandments. The most base response. Ah, that's cute. Okay, you want to play the game? We'll play the game. And then, dude, I got arrested once years ago. And it was DUI when I wasn't drunk or stoned or anything and whatnot. And I had a little herbal. But because of the way the state is, you get the idea. Yeah. OHP, man. OHP don't play, and they'll make sure to hit you for everything they can, and that's why the. Oh no, nothing like major. I just dropped a buddy off, like got a gram, was on my way home. Dude that I got the gram from, pretty much. We're not gonna go into that. Like, but because of him, I ended up being seen by OHP. OHP pulled me over. I didn't, but like, it's been dismissed, this, that, and the other. It's literally a decade ago. Yeah. Like, straight up. I don't fuck with anything else. So, and you gotta figure, Oklahoma's very much against a lot of shit like that. They're getting better as a state, but But the point I'm making is that's part of my problem. That's got a high speed. But anyway, the point I'm making is though, I'm not gonna lie and say it wasn't a good thing. It was a very good thing actually that happened to me. I'm not gonna try to bullshit you and say otherwise. It's what really got me straightened out because it No, it's not legalized, but we got medical now. But the point I'm making is it got me to start reevaluating my life and where I want to be. It got me sitting there going, like, certain things happened after that, and this, that, and the other, that all really drove home the fact that I was my own worst enemy. And I needed to sit down and have, like, the person you talk to, you know, now is the person that literally is the result of getting arrested and everything, like not being able to find a job for a few years after that, going to Colorado, having some shit happen there, so having to come back, still not being able to get a job, and then finally, once I did get a job, because of the how long I didn't have one, I held on to it for like 3 years. All right, and I've been employed since for the most part. Like, I had a brief bit last year, but I was also trying to start my own business, and that kind of just didn't work. Like, I don't know enough business owners to really to have managed to have pulled it off, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, like, it really did, and at the same time, it's what really got me thinking, once you start accepting the fact that you're a lot of the cause of a lot of your problems, you start to really stop and go, well, if I'm the asshole that's constantly causing me problems, you go, well, all right, what else was I doing wrong? Try that again. Like, it really does start to get you to really try and evaluate your life. Like, when you start to take responsibility and say, I'm the root cause, it was this, it was that, every time I could have stepped up to the plate and been like, all right, I'm tired of fucking off and not really doing what I need to. Instead, it was, but it was their fault. It was, it was this, it was that, it was, and all of that really stopped because of that experience. I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I am happy about slowly but surely getting my life to where I want it to be. Because I actually did take the time to stop, you know what I mean? Going, all right, not my fault, not my mistake. I'm not going to do that. I'm smart. That's the biggest one. When I was 19, I was hanging out with my friends at a coffee shop. We see the Iraq War had just started. Oh wait, yeah, it was the Iraq War, and you're seeing a lot of the like blood for oil protests, things like that. Everyone was talking about how we were all fine going into Afghanistan because Osama, so on and so forth, but none of us wanted, we didn't need to go into it. Well, all right, let me explain the nuance of this. This is something that I don't think you'll really understand. All right, his dad, Bush Sr., back on his one-term presidency, had basically started Operation Desert Storm. But they, instead of removing Saddam from power then, just pretty much run him out of Kuwait. Alright, because he had basically started conquering Kuwait. Like, and when Bush Jr. got into office and 9/11 happened, he first went after Afghanistan, which, let's be honest, that made a lot of sense. Supposedly they were the ones who did it. Well, I needed that, actually. Well, the other thing, though, It was when he went into Iraq, everyone was like, well, that's what, are you finally finishing your daddy's war? This, that, and the other. Like, and so, and also at the same time, everyone all, knew it was because we were going in there for Iraq's resources, alright? Let's just, let's just be honest with ourselves. We were going in there for Iraq's resources, alright? We weren't going in there for some noble reason. No. We're going in there because, do I got enough to put front large tires on that actually? For, like, nothing else. It was, literally, that was it. That's the whole reason why we were there. And that's pretty much why, a lot of the anti-war protests. Dang it, Bobby. I don't know. But it's fuck. That's literally what was going on in the States when I was, 19. When people say it was a different America, we literally mean it was a different America. I mean, broadband was just becoming a thing. Social media didn't come out really until a couple years later. What you had at that time was still the old AOL chat rooms and Yahoo chat rooms. Like, actually, it was Yahoo that we used a lot of times. I mean, it was way different. Freaking cell phones didn't have the internet. Like, unless you had, like, a Sidekick or something, you didn't have internet on your phone. Like, that was literally people who had money had the internet on their phone. Alright, because of how expensive it was. Freaking. Oh, man. TRL was still on TV, Total Request Live. That was basically like an MTV. They would take the top 10 music videos of the day and let the people requested and everything and would literally count them down. Like, you have freaking, man, MTV still showed music videos. This was, but granted, at the same time, it was also still heavily dominated by a lot of reality TV. Lot of reality TV. Like, man. But also Drawn Together came out in like 04 when I was 20. And that, ooh, man. That is a spicy show. That would not, that show would not get made today. Like, literally, the jokes in that, literally, it was designed to offend everyone then. Alright? And that's the joke, like, it was literally, that's what the jokes were meant to do. They were meant to be offensive and crude. And, oh man, oh crap, let me check, make sure chat's still working. Like, oh man. We'd always, like, leave the coffee shop and then go to Denny's, which, what sucks is now, the building that was our Denny's is now IHOP. We no longer has Denny's. I'm a sad panda about that. You might actually get me out of the house if we still had a Denny's, man. Like, but yeah, dude, like, best way to put it, man, we were still connected as a culture. Like, when I say people hung out still, like, it wasn't, oh, where everyone's getting together and we're going to go out partying and this, that, and the other. And that's the time. Oh, man. Ah, love me some Denny's, man. Get me the nachos, right? Ah! I don't even know why I'm still trying to say that. But give me the nachos, right? But instead of getting the chips, get fries. And then use honey mustard. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. I don't get me wrong, bro. I saw where you mentioned your like families from like Detroit area and whatnot. Man, that's gotta so suck. Like you're right there where what it used to be, like the legit world, not just United States, world center for all things automotive. Because most foreign cars wanted to be like American cars. I mean, everything that was hot generally came out of frickin' Detroit. I mean, also a lot of very cutthroat business. I mean, prime example of the things like the Turner something or other. Basically, it was a gentleman that created a, I can't remember, it was like the Tucker or Turner or something like that. I think it was a Turner, and it actually had a number. Basically was trying to build cars, but due to interference and lobbying by the big three, Dodge, General Motors, fucking Ford and whatnot, of course the other, it was five then, if I remember right, because Buick and Cadillac were still their own independent companies at the time. Or was it Mercedes? No, Mercedes is European. I can't remember what the other company was, but yeah, they literally forced Congress through lobbying and everything to bring in the dude before Congress and have him, like, best way I can describe it, and explain to him why he was freaking trying to remember the exact word, embezzling investment funds instead of getting people their cars, while at the same time they were preventing him, literally preventing him, not allowing him to make his cars. They're like, well, why aren't you providing these people with the vehicles that they paid for? Because you refuse to let me open up my factory. That's no excuse. Why? You need to supply these people with their cars. I will, as soon as you let me open my factory. No, no, no. You need to. That's not acceptable. You can open your factory when you supply these people with their cars. And literally, that's how it was. Like, and like seat belts, literally came from him. I think of a couple other things that the big three kind of bought at auction when all his assets were sold off. All his plans, all his designs, all his equipment, everything. That's how you know it was. They were working with the government to be able to do it. They wouldn't have been able to buy. And it's kind of like the whole Roger Stone raid. How did CNN know to be there? Huh. Same thing, but it was, how did these companies manage to be able to buy everything he had and get all of his patents for practically nothing? Because they bankrupted him through using the weight of government against him. That's why, if ever, the worst thing we ever did is let the Federal Reserve stay. Kennedy had executive ordered the Federal Reserve shut down. And 6 months later, he was assassinated. And then Lyndon B. Johnson, ever so quickly, immediately repealed his executive order and made sure that the Federal Reserve would stay functioning. Just saying. There's a reason why a lot of people are like, we know that frickin' Kennedy was killed. Because he fucking was! I mean, come on, can they make it any more fucking obvious at this point? Nah, you don't want RFK Jr. RFK, the best thing he did, all right, was sell people on the idea that he is a middle of the road progressive or middle of the road centrist when he's actually a far left progressive. Severe anti gunner, anti free speech, will sit there and demand laws that will basically, if you want to actually have the science of quote unquote climate change explained to you, you will be locked up for it. Like, RFK is so not the guy he actually presents himself out to be. He is a severe authoritarian. And that's one of the things that I cannot stand is we have so many of these politicians that will sit there and say to your face, "Oh, no, we're the good guys. We're the ones you want to hire." But in actuality, you do a little digging, what do you find out? Oh, they're actually pieces of shit, and you can prove it mathematically. Like, I'm not even fucking playing. Like, at first I was like, alright, RFK, his uncle literally was one of the greatest presidents we ever had. And that's not just me waving the Irish flag, I literally mean that. Like, yeah, let's just be honest, it's not even Biden. Oh man, dude, I don't know. You're a little young, so I don't expect you to really be full into the politics mode yet, but believe me, if you did not watch the debates, you missed out, my dude. You missed out. Oh man, that shit was great. Oh man. that whole thing was great. Oh, that whole thing was great. Oh, I'm not. you know, to be honest with you, my biggest thing is I'm not even gonna act like I really like Trump all that much. Like, as a person, I think he's a fucking douchebag. I'll definitely tell you, the dude's a fucking asshole. All right, hands down. I spent his first term like, stop making me defend Trump. And now I'm like, oh. Some of y'all are starting to finally see the shit I was trying to explain to y'all. Okay. Oh man. Everyone at work the next day was talking about it. Did you watch it? And I just kind of looked at him like, me, the Politico, the guy that's been into politics since he was 8 years old. No, I didn't watch the debate. Not at all. I was not sitting here frickin' playing fucking Elden Ring listening to the debates. No. I was not at all. I was in bed asleep. If you believe that, I'll tell you another one. That was one of the few times I actually stayed up late. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, real talk. Normally my ass is like in bed, asleep. I'm all like, man, fuck this shit. Like 8:30. My old man ass is like, I'm going to bed. Mainly because I get up at like 4 in the morning. Like, just because I prefer to be up early. Like, I used to be a night owl, but man, I don't like having to deal with the whole. Best way to put it, alright? I like being up at night, but I also like being able to do shit when I'm awake to do shit. And on top of that, I mean, you know what? When it's nice out, it's fucking nice out. I could sit there and be like, it's bright, and I could try to bitch about it, but what am I really doing? I'm just really trying to make myself unhappy over what? The wonderful dopamine that the sunlight has given me, the vitamin D, the beautiful weather, the frickin' birds chirping, this, that, and the other, seeing squirrels play and shit like that, and I'm over here trying to be Senior Grumpathon. Yeah, fuck that shit, dude. Like, I'm not about to sit there and let my bad attitude fuck up a good day. Fuck that noise. I did that shit for far too long and then wondered why. Man, I can't figure out why I'm constantly having bad days. Oh, maybe it's your fucking shitty attitude, dipshit. Maybe if you change that, you'd stop having bad fucking days. If you change that, maybe you'd actually, like, and that's the best I can put. One of the things I do tend to really harp on a lot: attitude. Attitude, attitude, attitude. You got a shitty attitude, people ain't gonna want to be around you. You could have some of the coolest coworkers on earth, but if you got an attitude problem, they're not gonna want to be around you. If you got an attitude problem, oh, dude, I'm, I'll have to like, give me a moment. But yeah, dude, that's my whole point. It's like, how do you expect to have things go appropriately if you are constantly give me a second. Wow. Wow. Wow, I didn't even notice it was something else. Well, thank you, fucking Devin. And I will worry about that after I'm off stream and can actually look more into that. That makes me happy. Okay. I'm going to have to where is it? That not exactly what I wanted to see, but whatever. Is it this one? I think it is. Yeah. There you go, Devin. That should help you out. Let me make sure I got that brought back up. Yeah. But you did. Apparently, someone had sent me a message about wanting to have me on their stream a couple weeks ago that I just now saw. But if it wasn't for you saying, "Hey, I'm trying to send you a message," I wouldn't have fucking known. Like, because I do have my DMs closed, and I have it that way for a reason. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not Styx Hexenhammer. I don't know how that dude does it. Like, also, the dude probably has better luck with people than I do, so I guess that's probably how he does it, but like, yeah. That's why I don't like what happened last night is a prime example of why I try not to let the haters get to me. Because like I said, shit like that's happened my whole life. I'm not gonna now, when I was younger, did I deserve some of it? Fuck yes. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I was a creepy fucking kid. Like, I was weird. So on and so forth. Probably should have gotten my ass kicked a few more times. But the problem is, let's be honest, I was such a bitch when I was a kid. Like, defying irony, as an adult, I got hands. Alright? but because I hung out with people who had hands, and my friends group as an adult are all people who are big into fighting and things like that. Oddly enough, like, but what I find it funny, it's like, and to be fair, it's like the whole reason why I don't like carry, dude. Like, and I don't mean that to be like mean or anything, but I literally mean I don't carry because I'm not about to be like, I need you to hold my shooty shoot while I whoop this motherfucker's ass. I mean, I just want to be able to start whooping this motherfucker's ass. Like, not even playing, dude. That's like 100% how I feel. Like, I tried, dude. It just does not feel. Uh, for me, it doesn't feel comfortable. Like, I don't. I got hands. I don't need this. Even though I know there are tons of situations where I would. But that's the point I'm making is it's like I know I should probably actually carry them like when I'm not working and whatnot because let's be honest, it's not the government's responsibility to protect me. It's my own responsibility. Like almost pulled it off, but didn't lose any wheels and still pseudo landed on my wheels. Like so on the one hand, I do agree with people carrying. I just don't like carrying. Dude, eh. To, to be fair, the fact that you know that, hey, you would, ah, but, man, I don't know, maybe it's me, but I just, I actually know a few people who that's the reason why. But that's also why I say correct diet, work out, start like once you start. The best way I could put it, I think part of the reason why so many people have depression in today's day and age is because of the fact that they have literally when you have society telling you you're wrong here, you're wrong there, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you're not doing this, this, and this, well, you're like not, a man, or if you aren't, this. Let's be honest, everyone's giving you a conflicted idea of what a man should be on top of that. All right, let's just also add that. And while eating food that's literally full of hormones, full of fucking chemicals, full like take for instance canola oil. That's literally you get that from, if I remember right, flax seeds. Flax seeds are poisonous, all right, to us. So the oil that they get is such a low dose. It's quote unquote doesn't really affect us, but I'm not buying it because canola oil has been shown to cause a lot of issues in the line of like irritable bowel syndrome, things like that, where it's destroying people's guts and intestines because, once again, we're not supposed to be eating flaxseed oil. Alright? We're not supposed to be having a diet that's predominantly grains and sugars. Alright? Our brains are starving, and on you add all that with the fact that we constantly tell men and boys that, basically shut up, suck it up, this, that, and the other when they are going through problems and so on and so forth. So, thus the men's loneliness epidemic is that's been talking about. They come out of the mental facility worse than they were. Went in. Oh, bro. You're not wrong. Okay, we do have a big problem of over freaking what's the word? Uh, trying to remember when they actually say you have something. I can't remember what they over diagnosing. There we go. That's the word. And yeah, you're not wrong. Well, I mean, you also got to figure. Take for instance, like they talk about ADHD, autism on the rise, and this, that, and the other, without actually looking at foods that people eat. I'm not going to go into a certain subject about a series of injections that is had when we are infants that went from 11 when I was a kid to 50 something now, and a lot of those things that are injected into the infants are, oh, you're fine, dude. But a lot of those infants are now like, let's be honest, tend to go in normal, but some of them end up, and they've had this happen, kids perfectly normal then develop autism after having those series of injections. All right. And as for your whole trauma dumping, no, you're bringing up a valid point that is a big issue with our society, and I could have very easily ended up in that same boat if my dad not been, the way he was. That no, that's not how we're going to solve these problems. The boy just needs discipline. La da 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 da. Which we're not going to go into the. Don't ever call your boys. Don't ever call them boys. Call them little man, big man, things like that. Raise them with the mentality that they're going to be a man one day, and so you need your language to reflect that. That is something I saw today or yesterday with one of my coworkers. And I've also noticed other friends that kids, their sons that have like really good self-esteem issues and this, that, and the other. And part of it is the language that they received when they were kids, like from their parents and so on and so forth. But no, so get back to what I was saying. But these overdiagnoses are causing people to go into these, like, basically they're being given pills that they don't need. That, take for instance, SLRIs or however you call them, like a lot of the depression medicines and so on and so forth, antidepressants and whatnot. A lot of them are hurting people and removing their body's ability to make dopamine properly. And if you're on them for too long, your body will not properly produce dopamine. And it's why a lot of the issues, like I said, it's diet, exercise, getting proper sunlight, like finding things that relax you in a way that, I guess you could say, in that gets you away from the stresses in your life kind of way. Those things will do more for your mental health and well-being than a handful of pills. Now, are there some people that those pills actually do help because they're that bad? Yeah, for sure. For sure. But there's also a lot of people that just get pills thrown at them and they don't actually need it. And it's doing more damage to them than good. Like, pure and simple. But I mean, that's where you got to go into like the Rockefellers and the whole like medical, like, the best way to I can explain it, Rockefeller bought out the medical industry by making it to where only people or the only schools that got funding were the schools that was willing to push his curriculum, bought all the textbook companies to make sure to push his curriculum, did everything he could to like make sure that the medical industry would be nothing but pharmaceutical based. And if you look at the origins of the word pharmaceuticals, if I remember right, it originates from extract the combination of chemicals or something like that, or like from oil, extracting chemicals from oil or something like that. Like it's, I'm bad at remembering proper etymology, but it's something along those lines. Like it's why people are relearning through old herbology books that people are still able to find every now and then in old antique bookstores. And those old medicines are coming back, and people are slowly like trying to get back their independence from big medicine. That's why, like holistic doctors have been dropping dead for the past 2 decades randomly. Look it up. Holistic doctors will randomly be killed or die or be in a random accident. Like, it's because big medicine is trying to keep people from being able to heal themselves with shit that'll actually work and not require us to take other things that to be able to handle the side effects of what they're giving us. Like, I mean, come on. Why is it that so many fucking medicines, dang it, have like 50 million side effects, and then the doctor gives you other medicine to treat the side effects of that medicine, and then the other more medicine to treat the side effects of the medicine that you were just given? There was a woman who literally, like, got off all her medicines and all of a sudden started feeling better because of the fact that she realized she was being over medicated by the doctor that she had. Like, and that's a big issue we have with modern medicine, and like everything's like, it's why I say we need to get rid of this corporatism that we've been having since 1913 and go back to real capitalism. Once we do that, a lot of these issues will be cleared right the fuck up. But, that's also, you got to get people to understand, like, that the biggest problem we have in modern day society is well, unfortunately, you already got that one. We have, yeah, it's because a lot of those medicines, dude, are, like I said, petroleum based, or they're like, take for instance, Lortabs, all right, hydrocodone. The painkiller, the aspect, the act, like that isn't what people OD on. It's the Tylenol that has been added in it to prevent people from abusing it that causes people to OD on it. Like, then again, I mean, let's be honest. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Back in the day, I mean, morphine was commonplace. Like, it was one of the most common freaking medicines for pain you could get a hold of. Like, it was an over-the-counter thing. Yeah, people abused it then. But the thing is, because it was over-the-counter and not if you're, abusing morphine that's not been prescribed to you, you immediately go to jail for illegal, possession of a controlled substance. It was, your family was able to get you to a doctor and get you to a priest and basically the whole idea was faith got people out of their addictions. Well, once you start making it a criminal issue, though, well, then you go to prison instead of actually getting help either through faith, like, or being put in an institution until you get clean and so on and so forth. Like, that's the way it was beforehand. Now it's you go to prison and you come out worse off. You don't end up dealing with your problems, so you end up just getting right back to using the same old drugs you were using when you went in, and you end up finding out how to make it in prison. So you're now, instead of just, like, for instance, being a meth head, well, now you're a meth head that knows how to make it. So now you not only are making your own supply, but now you're all like, well, I got so much, let me sell it and make a bit of a profit off of it. Well, now you took somebody who would have just gone to rehab, gone to an institution prior to Reagan getting rid of them, mind you. Fuck you, Reagan. I don't know why that motherfucker is lionized the way he is, but whatever. Point being, they would have gone into something that would have helped them improve their lives and get over what was causing them to be addicted to hard substances, to alcohol, to morphine, to opium, to whatever. Because unless you get to the root of the underlying cause of why people are abusing substances, you will never actually get to that, like, them stopping the use of those substances. Like, all you're going to do is make the situation worse. Literally, not figuratively, literally. Sending people to prison just means they're going to come out criminals. Hardened fucking criminals. Because most people who are already criminals and already doing stuff, especially individuals who are more likely to have addiction problems, are more likely to have a criminal record. So, they go in a criminal, they come out a criminal. They don't get rehabilitated. Like, Oklahoma just shut down its last corporate, like, literally privately owned prison, and I think it's the best thing for it. Prison should not be a for-profit industry. You're supposed to be getting people to go in and come out proper, rehabilitated citizens, not, oh, hey, let me freaking, go in, do my time, and then I come out knowing how to do shit and this, that, and the other. No. Send criminals in, get to the root of whatever's causing them to live that lifestyle. Sometimes it literally is as simple as economics. And I'm not even playing. Sometimes it literally is something that simple. Nope. But sometimes it's literally things like, they grew up in a bad neighborhood with a bunch of bad influences, and the only people that they had around them were a bunch of, people who were always on the wrong side of the law. What do you think that, breeds in people? When you see the dude that's constantly trying to do right gets spat on and held down by his neighbors, but the dude that's literally getting thrown in prison for the third, fourth, fifth time, and this is across the board, doesn't matter what ethnicity, because rednecks don't like snitches, freaking, just, not various groups don't like snitches, doesn't matter what color you are. And that's the problem, because what you see happening in the hood, you see happening in the trailer park, you see happening in various, neighborhoods of varying ethnicities, especially amongst migrants, which is why, your migrant, neighborhoods are more likely to have criminals coming in. because, well, you're still more like me from where I came from. We speak the same language. We can speak to each other more easily than, the broken English that a lot of individuals that come to the States speak. Like, which is why anytime you see somebody trying to speak English, don't belittle them for it. Make sure my chat's working right. Don't belittle them for it. Encourage them. Like, literally, because they are trying to speak a language that is not their own. Give them a bit of encouragement and be like, yeah, dude, don't worry. No, I got you, fam. I read you loud and clear, la da 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 da. You're doing better than I could if I was trying to speak your language. Because it helps them grow in being secure and comfortable in their own use of another language. Like, either way, let me stop ranting about that because I will continue. But speed. Oh, wrong button again. Oh well. Oh. Oh man, I needed that drink. But no, dude. Like, and the sad thing is, I'm no fucking leftist, but I'm still smart enough to be able to understand, if you want people to be successful within your society, you've got to set them up to be successful. Leave it at that. Let's see, it's still unstable as fuck at high speeds. Yeah, what can I say? I have stated time and again, I have sat down and thought about a lot of these issues for a, long, long, long time. Like, one thing I cannot stand, and I've always kind of hated it, is the whole mentality of like, well, why do you worry about these things? You can't do anything about it. 100%. You're not wrong. I can't do anything about it. But just because I can't do anything about it doesn't mean I shouldn't worry about these things. Because these are things that matter to our country. Like, yeah, it may not matter on the scheme of just our life regularly, but they matter in the grand scheme of, like, our country, our, how we have things as a union. Because remember, that originally referred to the Union of States. We are, like, and in order to be there again, we got to kind of remember that we are our neighbor failing is important. Why I said earlier in the stream, we as men, we need to sit around, we need to hold each other accountable, we need to actually try to make it to where we will breed winners out of the men in our society. We won't just sit there and say, oh, well, you'll be a winner because RFK, or, earlier. Ask not what you can do for or ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And it's a very important, statement, because it should never be you looking at your country to take care of you. It should always be you trying your best to take care of your country. Like, I guess I think that's the best way I put it. Like, because when you take pride in your country and what your country means and how your country can grow and become something bigger, better, that's you saying, my home, I want it to be the best home I can get it to be. Like, you should take pride in your country. That's why patriotism matters. Because if you don't take pride in your home, you don't take pride in anything, really. Yeah, that's what I did wrong on that one. Like, how can you? Like, if people walk in to your house and all they see is, trash everywhere, you know, just dishes stacked up in every corner and whatnot, they're gonna look at you like you don't take care of your house. You know what I mean? But if they come in, yeah, you might have a little bit of clutter, this, that, and the other, but it's obvious you try to keep that down. It's obvious you try to worry about how your uh how your home is maintained. It reflects better on you and they will think better of you. Wrong one. Think I'm gonna need. No, I'm just gonna go to 2. Like, and I'm not saying you gotta be like, oh well, America's number one, la da 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 at all times. No, 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 no. Always make sure to hold America accountable. Because when you don't hold your country accountable for the things your country does, it will continue to go down a dark path. Like, and let's be honest. Crud. Alright, come on. Wait, did something start downloading? Is that what happened? Did something start randomly downloading? Or no, no. Okay. Well, that seems to be back up, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Phone still has the stream, like, not working right. Let me try to back out and then come back in to see if that'll get it to work right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I don't know why, I just did not want to... Oh, mother trucker. I think I know what the issue is. Possibly. I don't know. Hmm. I... Hmm, hmm, hmm. I... Because it should still be live. Like... Come on. According to this, I'm still streaming. Let me close it. Like... Oh, come on. Still shows it alive. It's just, for some reason... Huh. I wonder. Let me... I can get back to working on this here in a minute. Let me do this. And then exit. Yes. Alright, it's back up and going. That's so weird. That is really weird. It still shows me struggling. Huh. Double. That's up to date. Alright. Alright. Huh. That should fix that. Yep, there we go. Got it back up and running now. Huh. That's still weird. That's still very weird. And I don't like how OBS is having issues like that. Huh. I think I might just have to call it here for the time being, because it looks like OBS is having some difficulty. And I'm like right there, completely just stopped transmitting. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Really? Anyway, that makes no sense. Like, alright. Alright, so let me go ahead and, while the brief moment where I do have it working somewhat right, thanks for watching. And as always, like, subscribe, ring that bell. Follow me on the Twitters at Brainiac420. Follow me everywhere else at a nerd and over 30. And I shall catch you folks on the flip side.